New Zealand has won the toss and is elected to receive. Australia will kick going this way. Okay, go ahead and shake hands, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the Gold Coast, where we are here for the main event, the finale of the Festival of Football. It is Australia playing New Zealand in the Open Men's American Football, all thanks to American Football Australia. This is going to be an incredible battle. We've just watched the coin toss. New Zealand have won the toss. They've elected to catch. My name's Kate Allman and I'm here with John Rowe, Coach Hollywood, as many of you will know. And Coach, what do we have to expect from these two sides today?
Well, Kate, this is going to be great. It's literally, we haven't seen New Zealand football for so many years now, and the program is rebuilding back in the country, but it's so great that we've got a national game.
We'll leave you for the national anthem now. Welcome into A.B. Patterson College, which is the stunning venue for this American Football Australia Festival of Football. It's been 2 days of competition, starting with the under-16s yesterday, then we had the under-18s this morning, and today, this afternoon, Saturday afternoon, is where we find ourselves watching the Australian Open Men's playing against New Zealand Open Men's. It is the big one, folks. We're about to kick off. New Zealand have elected to receive. They won the toss earlier today, and Australia in the green and gold will kick off. They've got their kicker, number 19, Jared Laws. He's a specialist punter out of Sydney Uni, and he's trying to make it to the American college system. My name is Kate Allman, the voice of American football down under, and alongside me is John Rowe, also known as Coach Hollywood. We will be taking you through the action, and we can't wait to bring it to you at home. It's been a massive turnout here on the Gold Coast, and so many tuning it in at home as we wait for all of this to unfold. So much to talk about, so much action to come. But first up, Jared Laws to kick things off for the green and gold. End over end kick, good distance, and the Kiwis get right under it. Couple of blocks in the way, makes his way through a crowd and ends up taken down at the 25-yard line. That's where Australia will have to defend. New Zealand electing to receive. They will take the offence first up.
Kate, thank you very much. It's a beautiful day here on the Gold Coast in Australia. It's a lovely 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Australian temperature. It is a beautiful, and this is winter, everybody. If wherever you're coming to us from around the world, this is winter in the Gold Coast. And what better way to have American football gridiron between these two teams.
So first play of the day, New Zealand to show us what they've got. It's a handoff, straight down the middle, a couple of yards gain, not too much on that one, but a nice way to start things off as we see the Kiwis settle into their rhythm.
And that's exactly right, Kate. They're wanting to get into rhythm sort of straight away. As we haven't played New Zealand men's for 20 years, so it's great that they've rebuilt the league over in across the ditch and are back here in the country playing at the national level, international level.
It's Tolu Pitoni-Lesay who is in quarterback, number 12, wearing the black and white today. Fakes the handoff, this time goes right. Oh, it's punched out of the way. The first offensive play made by Andrew Young out of Victoria for the green and gold.
Nice job of the break up there. Just New Zealand trying with a little switch route, inside receiver doing what we call a wheel route up the sideline, and the inside receiver coming in to the outside receiver come in to try and make that pick. As you can see here, just a little what we call the wheel route, set it up. Got the options there of going short or going long. And a great break up.
It was Daisy Matuga who the ball was intended for, but just had his wits about him, Andrew Young, and turned around right on time. This will make it third and down. Third down for New Zealand. First drive of the day. Quarterback being harangued by the defence, and he's muscled all the way out of bounds. A great stop made by Australia. This forces the Kiwis to punt early.
Sensational job by the defence. We'll probably see in the replay. New Zealand came out in what we call the bunch or triangle formation, so three receivers on one side. Number 3 is screaming down the sideline. He's open. Unfortunately, though, great pressure by the defence. With the pressure on the quarterback, he couldn't get the goal.
Bayside Ravens, they've done it 6 times back-to-back in the Sun Bowl here in Queensland. And so Jared Stegman steps up into the green and gold for his first drive today. Bigiri Mana receives the handoff, and the running back is pummeled through the middle, straight up the guts run, gains a few yards. A nice way to start things off.
Absolutely, just a nice simple spread formation, just a run up the middle. I mean, I was talking to the head coach, Peter Brewer, before, and they've had 10 practices as a team staying up here on the Gold Coast. So, you know, you're bringing everybody in from Australia across wide. I mean, different language, different terminology. A slant may mean something different in a different league, but it's been a great job of coaches to get the team together.
So Stegman, who's represented Australia plenty of times before, also played for Queensland. Here's his first throw in the air and over the hands of Timochi Tuikaba, who was on his way to the house. He had no one home in front of him. Just had to bring that one down.
Absolutely, and Timmy Chewbacca, as we used to call him, he was part of the fantastic under-18s Australian team that was selected, and he's just grown into a great football player over the years. I think he's playing linebacker at his local club in South Australia, but he's a weapon as a receiver / tight end. So look for big things from number 4 today.
I heard he wanted to play tight end. Actually was moved to receiver to Ikaba because he has incredible skills in the air. That one, unfortunate, just looked up into the sun and couldn't locate the ball in the air. Here's motion in the backfield from Stegman. 2 players on the right now, trips right. Another motion. Fake handoff goes backwards, but it's whistled dead before anything can unfold.
Nice little bit of misdirection there. Expect to see that today, Kate. A lot of the sort of screen game, the short passing game from that, I think that's where Australia thinks they can get New Zealand to the perimeter, to the edges. A lot of motion there. I think the formation wasn't right, and Jared wanted that over to the wide side because they were setting up a block there to try and use the field. But yes, Stegman, a great quarterback for many, many years. I think it was 2012, 2013 when he first started. Over in Japan, he's played in Germany, in Europe as well, and now back on the outback.
Jared Stegman in the green and gold, has played all over the world. Japan's X-League for the Silver Stars. We're 3rd down here. Must get 6 yards. Stegman. Oh, he looked left and he didn't see the blindside tackle coming. What a stop made by 65 Seth Lessie, the Kiwi defender. Impressive stuff from the black and white today.
Really nice job of just the defensive end there. A little bit of a rip move around the end there and got to Stegman. I think Stegman was hoping for a little more time on that one because he was staring that receiver down.
He absolutely wanted more time. Seth Leslie made his way around the edge and nobody saw him coming, especially not Stegman. Would have loved to be warned about that before he got pancaked to the floor. So here comes a kick from Australia. Neither team able to get anything going on offense. Huge spiral into the air by Jared Laws for Australia. Kick return gets a couple of yards, but they'll restart things, New Zealand, at the 15. And they get a second chance to get things going on offense.
And Kate, it is a joy when you can actually bring a specialist player such as a kicker or punter into a team. You know, that is their job, that's their bread and butter. And this young man wants to try and get overseas and get a contract, etc. So he's going to be on display today. But Kate, for me, special teams, I think this is where this game is going to be won or lost. Because you can bring together players, etc., but it's those fundamentals on like kick return, punt return, kick off, staying in the lanes, having a return as we saw there, that's going to be fundamental.
Great call from Coach Hollywood. We've got Tolu Pitone Lesse in at quarterback again, and he is taken to the ground in a sea of people before he can get anywhere. They're at the 15-yard line. It's a long field to go for Pitone Lesse.
I think it's a little bit of a try and feel at the moment. New Zealand's just seeing where they can go, whether it's in between the tackles or outside. So we'll see how we keep going and what Australia is going to try and combat this with.
Tukutau in at running back, playing more of a tailback position here. Pitone Lesse gets under centre this time. Handoff. And it did go to the tailback. He's read like a book by 3 defenders in green and gold, and that stops things once more. They really fighting for yardage here, the Kiwis, and they can't get anything.
We saw the dive play before, and that one was a counter play where the running back started left. There was a big fake, like they're going to fake toss and then come back through the right-hand side. Also noticing that New Zealand aren't really spreading the field, so to speak. That receiver, I think it's number 81 on the end. He's inside what we call the hash marks there, so there we go, and spread it out a little bit. Expect to see maybe a pass in this one.
Haven't seen a pass yet from Pitone Lesse that has worked out. Early jump from the defence. This might be a free play. Pitone Lesse, he heaves it downfield, sky high. It does feel like he saw a free play happening there. And for those who are watching at home, new to the game, when the defence jumps offside and the quarterback has the presence of mind to notice it, they often call this a free play because it's going to be a penalty either way, and whichever way it lands, the advantage goes to the offense. So if that had been caught, it would have been counted. In this case, it wasn't, and they will receive a penalty plus 5 yards.
You're spot on there, Kate. It's basically a free play with that. Basically, if the the person going offsides isn't too much in danger for that quarterback, they'll let the play go. But if there is a sense of danger, they will stop it.
Well, there was no penalty called in the end, so all of that explanation for nothing. Here comes the punt. Oh, it's blocked. It's blocked by the green and gold. The Kiwis just have to dive on it. And they're going to muscle their way through, try to gain the ball back. The Aussies think they have it. They are celebrating early. At the bottom of the pile comes up. There's a green and gold player. He's got the ball. Gee, Australia, incredible field position. In fact, touchdown is called. A pick 6 on that fumble. What a way to start things off for the green and gold.
That was sensational. As I said, special teams is a great block punt. And then just the rolling maul, the scrum on the ground, watching everybody fight for that ball. Oh, straight over the middle there, over the centre. Oh, this is our replay of the pass before.
It was a huge ball, this one.
It was.
Incredible. So Australia 6 on the board from an offensive penalty by New Zealand. Here, a chance to put an extra point on the board. It sails through, just gets inside that left upright, and 7 go the way of Australia early in this game. Gee, we didn't expect that. I mean, both the offensive sides have weapons in their arsenal, but the defense making a play there.
Absolutely. And what you find in these international, where they only have maybe 10 days to practice, defense usually does get the upper hand on that. It does take time for an offense to coordinate. So you try and keep it simple, but yeah, defense just hunt for that ball and they chase it down and go for it. Had a chance to watch both teams in warm-ups before, and I can tell you that New Zealand can throw. That quarterback has got an arm.
Yeah.
So
he's just got to get the accuracy, but he definitely had the distance. That's the biggest throw we've seen today. Of course, we've watched the under-18s earlier this morning. Australia took home the shield in that game, as they did yesterday in the under-16s. So at the moment, we're looking to an Australian whitewash, unless these New Zealanders on screen now can make a stop. And certainly Australia would love to get 3 from 3. But knowing the rivalry the Kiwis have, they're going to do everything they can to stop that. Here comes the kickoff. Jared Laws. Aims it straight down the centre towards that left upright. It's caught clean. New Zealand take it back. They gain 5, 10. This is a nice gain on the outside right side. It's finally muscled down. And a nice return there to start things for this next drive.
Absolutely. You can see the wall of New Zealand. They're basically trying to set up some blocks. Australia with really good pursuit angles, so they're getting past those blocks there and making good tackles there. But let's see what New Zealand come out with now after that touchdown from Australia.
What are you expecting that the coaches would be telling their offense, the New Zealanders?
It's almost just fundamentals. Do the simple things right.
Get things going and get some momentum. It's such a game of momentum, American football. Once you have it, it's easy to get on a roll. Tolu Pitone-Lesse, the quarterback for the Kiwis. Motion in the backfield. That's Schwenke, Asher Schwenke, who went to the right side. He's not targeted this time. Instead, Pitone-Lesse goes to the left, brought down at the 32. Reception made by Daisy Matuga.
Nice little swing pass to the left there. I think Kate, that's what we're going to see is again, trying to keep those passes around the line of scrimmage. It's almost an extension of the run game. So instead of running between the tackles, you can pass it just outside, but it is basically like a stretch play from that. So we'll see. I think you're right. It's just get the momentum back. Let's go back to the basics. Nobody's panicking yet. See how we go.
Well, they have a big O-line, the New Zealanders. Dylan Leve up there at centre. 2 big men next to him as well. Pitone-Lesse gets under centre, knowing he's got that protection. Fakes the handoff. He's got plenty of time in the pocket. Makes the catch out wide, but no gain. And that's what we've seen a little bit today. The Australians just haranguing and getting straight to the ball in a team.
Absolutely. Swarming to the ball, getting it to the ball carrier. I can just see that 87 seems to be a target for New Zealand there, so we'll keep an eye on him. But yeah, you're right, Kate. It's literally, that's what you want. You want that pack mentality to go find the ball.
Australian men, of course, coached by Pete Brewer. Head coach of New Zealand is Harry Siono. Men that you would have played with alongside and known for many years. Of course, Coach Hollywood, such a pleasure to have you in commentary. For those who don't know, Coach Hollywood has been around the game of American football since its inception, effectively, in Australia. Here's New Zealand on offense. Third down, Pitone Lesse goes to the sky. This one's going to get there. The first down marker made, and they'll move the chains.
Move the chains, exactly right. They're, again, going to their big receivers there, just needing those extra yards there for the first down. Great stuff. Yeah, congratulations to Coach Peter Brewer. I think he's the 9th all-time Australian head coach for the men's. Obviously starting back in 1999 with Coach Jim Wagstaff for the first ever Australian team. And then various coaches like Paul Monero, John Lighton, myself, Jason Gaffey, and Coach Peter Brewer.
James Oriki in at centre now for the Kiwis. Fake handoff, and Oriki made a gap for his quarterback to get through. A nice 5-yard run there by the quarterback. Haven't seen many quarterback runs yet. Pitone Lesse showing he could use his legs as well as his arm.
I think that's what you find with the athleticism of the New Zealanders. There's going to be plenty of those options where it is a give or a keep. The quarterback will do some running. Obviously, you don't want it too much because you want the quarterback to last the whole game and not be bruised and battered. But you've really got to respect that. Are we going to hand it off, or is the QB going to keep it? So hopefully that might be slowing the defence down for from the Australian team. You hear the players yelling in reverse. Yeah, there is a lot of field to the side there.
Joshua Dutton made his way to the other side. It's a handoff again, and this time the defence reads it well. They gain a few yards. It's a strong run, kept the legs moving. They'll move this to a 3rd and short.
A couple of nice down blocks from the New Zealand offensive lineman there, but leaves them again. Yeah, 3rd and short. You're right, Kate. So this is good territory here for New Zealand, putting the option of the short pass or the run. An old coach of mine once said, though, but when you pass, 3 things happen and 2 are bad, which is one is an interception or an incompletion.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. There's a risk when you go to the air. Oriki providing so much protection for his quarterback at the moment. Can they do it again? Pitone Lesse. Another handoff, and there's a gap through the middle. Finds a lane. Great work by the running back. He made a cut downfield and went north to south very quickly. Gained 5 yards and moves the sticks once more.
Nice little trap play there. The opposite guard pulls there. I think that's the first time we've seen that. It's been pretty much straightforward running, but now we're starting to what we call have the pulling lineman to get those running back through the hole. So this would be good if New Zealand might start to get a little bit of momentum now for the run game.
It feels like they're rolling now, the offense for New Zealand. It's certainly Pitone Lesse. He's making decisions at the line of scrimmage, which is really encouraging to see. He's changing the play, and obviously multiple of these plays are sort of RPOs where he's going to have an option to run or pass or keep it himself. Or handoff. He's under center a lot of the time too, which is promising. Pitone Lesse.
Not happy with the call.
So it looks like a timeout being taken. One side certainly wanted a bit of time to talk things over.
Keep an eye on number 94. He's for New Zealand. He's a big part of the run game. He's in motion now, so this might be the key of using him as a blocker.
That's Heinrich Muller. He is a big man. It's tossed backwards and goes forward, but not quite enough. Tuku Tau couldn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
So, Katie, I love how you're a professional in this game. I'm not even going to attempt at some of those names there. You're doing fantastic with the
New Zealand names, Islander names. They're relatively easy once you get the hang of them, but apologies in advance for anyone I've mispronounced.
We'll just call him old mate.
Tuku Tau making his way downfield there. Got incredible power, Tuku Tau, hard to miss. Certainly easy to miss if you're a defender. Pitone Lesse under center once more. Fakes the handoff. This time he's going to take the time to make a throw.
Long.
And it's a huge throw. It's a bomb downfield. Oh, it nearly picked off. It was in the hands, and it was through the hands of the defender in green and gold. Almost stolen away.
There is a flag down.
So this is coming back. A flag down, but gee, that was close. Nearly picked by Australian number 20.
Offense, number 79. It'll be
Personal foul
15
against New
yards from
Zealand, 15
the
yards.
previous spot.
Throwing in, the New Zealand are throwing into what breeze there is. Do we have the Gold Coast doctor? Is it the Fremantle doctor? I'm not sure. With the winds this afternoon, winds should pick up for that. But New Zealand is throwing into the wind what wind there is. That was almost like the last game you called, Kate, where the ball was tipped and then picked up by the New Zealand team.
Oh, wow. So 28 there for Australia. Andrea Young almost had the pick. And nearly an incredible play on defense, but they march the New Zealanders back either way with that penalty, and this is good for Australia. They've got a long field to go now, New Zealand, well behind the sticks.
You may hear the word kill there, so they obviously had a play called and they didn't like it and they changed it to something else.
Australia's jumped offside. This looks like it's going to be a free play. Petona Lessay heaves it downfield, down the middle. It's worked out. Nice work. Schwenke makes the reception. He's still driving his legs. Hasn't been brought down yet. He stopped eventually just before the 40.
Big, number 50, the offensive lineman. Watch, if we get the replay of this, watch him get downfield very, very quickly and try to block for his receiver there, number 50. Great job by the quarterback, just stepping back, a little bit of pressure, steps outside the pocket, sees the receiver had his hand up coming across saying, throw it to me. There he is. Now, if you watch to the right of your screen, watch number big 50 come in. Here he comes.
Yeah.
See you later.
That's cleaning out, isn't it? There was a flag on the play, though, and I do believe it was on Australia, so it'll probably gift some yardage back to New Zealand, who really needed it. The free play, as I said, working out, and they do get a 1st and 10 here from the 40.
Very nice job of New Zealand drawing Australia offsides on that one. The offensive line very disciplined.
So Petone Lessay, he's got 2 receivers on the left. Blitz is coming, got to get rid of it. Did get rid of it, and Schwenke again makes a catch. Great hands above the head. Asher Schwenke moves them forward another few yards.
That is a receiver's name. I like that name. That's great. Schwenke, obviously the target. We've seen basically New Zealand getting into the rhythm now of the last 3-4 pass attempts now, getting some confidence for the quarterback. And you're starting to see that sense of who the quarterback wants to have that trust in of who's going to make the play for me.
And Asher Schwenke is certainly a pair of safe hands. We've seen it a couple of times. 2nd and 7 or thereabouts. 4th and 7, in fact. My apologies. 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
Going for it, okay.
Petona Lessay, handoff, and a run down the middle again. This is Tuku Tau. Oh, it's going to depend on the spot because I think he might be short. Australia is celebrating. They're short, and it's a turnover on downs.
Interesting play call there. They went with I think it was I formation, but it was a counter play again with a lead blocker. And they obviously thought they could get the 4 yards with basically trying to have a road train come through that. But a great job by Australia to cause a turnover on downs.
Well, it's all about forcing those errors as well. New Zealand, a costly penalty that sent them backwards before going forwards, and all their momentum was stilted at that point.
Be interesting to see if Australia tries to get the running game going here.
Stegman back into quarterback. Sends the ball to the right. Accurate as they come, Jared Stegman. Timochi Tuikaba with that reception. The receiver who wanted to play tight end but had such skills, they put him on the outside.
And that's what you love to see, someone who's flexible like that. One of those plays there we sort of consider a run. It is a sort of wide receiver screen. And as we always say, you want to try and get outside. So the blocker had him on the inside, but all the bad people are in the middle of the field. You want to get to the outside as quick as you can.
Motion in the backfield. Stegman, hands off. And a nice run play again on the ground. Tyson Garnham making his way downfield. A little lane opened up, enough to gain a few yards. They just keep these chunks moving, and that's enough for them.
Absolutely. And Tyson, that is one of his key signature plays from having played in Gridiron Victoria since, 400 years. And has a hooves, we call him, because he has still got the wheels, still got the speed, great route runner. And that's that sort of jet sweep is his bread and butter play.
Some of these players as well, when you get them up to top speed with that jet sweep, that's when they're most lethal. And, getting the acceleration going is part of the challenge. But if you can get them moving before the snap, it really sets you up for success.
Absolutely, and you can see that with the formation. We have two sides of the field. We call the wide side the field and the shorter side the boundary. So rather than saying the wide side or which side. So you can see on that last formation from Australia is they were into the boundary and they had a lot of field. So you can really stretch it out to the... Keep an eye, if you're watching at home, keep an eye on those receivers. Are they lining up on the numbers? Are they lining up inside the numbers? Are they lining up inside the hashes? And that will sometimes give you a key of are they trying to get outside, they're trying to get inside, etc.
So we've just gone past quarter time, hence the field has been flipped. That's why we're changing ends now. If you're watching at home, Australia's still in possession, and they are coming towards the camera now. Stegman.
Inside coverage from, I think, Tyson Garnham.
Again, motion in the backfield. Stegman's going to look to throw. Goes long and into the right side. Oh, wow, that was almost there. It's like he lost it in the sun. Number 36, Tyson Garnham. He's often so handy with those catches. I don't know what happened. It looked like he lost it.
Kate, you're spot on. You can see him just looking for it. That is very uncharacteristic. For people at home, he is looking straight back in the sun, exactly where that was. That was a great little smash route where the outside receiver just does a nice little hook and the inside receiver does a 10 and corner. But yeah, he's looking straight back into the sun. So that's something that might want to tell Coach Brewer about. Say, hey, don't do that for this moment of time. Pass the other side.
The composure of Stegman in the pocket there as it was collapsing was unbelievable. Long snap, they're going to kick. High and down the left side. No one to receive. They're happy to let it bounce and pick it up at the 20. That's where New Zealand will take over.
Yeah, you spotted it right there, Kate. There's no returner back from New Zealand. So either miscommunication or that's a deliberate plan of being inside, say, at their own 40. They're not going to have anybody back there and try and make you pin them in the corner, within 15 to the goal line.
Potentially, they're considering the sun in the eyes as well for the kick returner and being able to catch that in the sun. Maybe just better off to not risk it and let it bounce and stay at the 20.
That's a great call.
So here they come, the Kiwis facing off against their rivals. This has happened on so many occasions over the years, and all of the codes know the rivalry. New quarterback in, Charlie Dew is under centre. Hand off to the running back. He's got pace, this running back. Ben Davies finds the edge. He's brought down just in time by Joshua Perrin for Australia. But wow, Davies with an acceleration and speed to burn.
Absolutely. Where did he come from? So you switch your quarterback, you've got the running back there. You can see Australia just starting to play off. It's either what we call cover one or cover three. You can see the corners starting to bail early. That's primarily against the pass defense, but it depends how many we want to keep in the box here against the run.
So Charlie Dew steps back into the gun this time. He's moving Davies all around. Dew looks right, got time. Sits back in the pocket, steps into this throw. It's long and it's gone over the top. There might be an interference call here, to be honest, because Joshua Perrin was draped all over the offensive player. No flags yet.
New Zealand really want to go long on that right side. I mean, they're really picking on the right side of the defense for Team Australia. If you can just get what we call a red line fade. So if you look at the screen there, between the sideline and the numbers, many American colleges would have a red line, and that's the red line fade you want to get on. So you can see the quarterback putting it on the numbers. The ball needs to be a little bit more outside so that receiver can get it over his shoulder.
Here they go again. There's a gap up the middle for Dew, but he's brought down. Nothing opened up in time. He had to evade the blitz. They're really coming hard at him, the Australian linebackers.
Yeah, absolutely. The defensive ends are just teeing off on that, knowing it's third down, and that quarterback is trying to go long. We've only seen a couple of 1 or 2 yard shorts, and other than that crossing route, we've seen everything's either very short or very long. So the defense is starting to key on that.
Brings up 4th and short, and a decision to be made. It looks like the Kiwis are going to go for it.
Or someone wants to think about it. Timeout, Australia.
So they're going to talk it over, the referees, and deciding what kind of penalty this is.
Interesting call here for New Zealand. As you said, Kat, it's what, fourth and 1, 4th and 2. For that, they are inside. What I can see there is 10:30. They're almost at their own 30-yard line, I think. Very risky call here if they want to go for it, or do they want to try and get a Team Australia to jump off sides. So that's what you'd be looking to do, and then you could take a 5-yard penalty if it doesn't work, and then you can punt from there. But the last 2, I think, punts we've seen hasn't been great for Team New Zealand. They'll need a big one to get out of the danger territory here.
Yeah, good time to take a timeout, as you say, 4th and short. This is one of those moments in a game that can be a decider how the rest of this half unfolds. New Zealand, my apologies, with their 2 quarterbacks, tried a few different looks. Nothing has really been explosive yet. They're trying to find what's going to work best, what's hot, and go with that once they do find it. And it's Petone Lesse back in as quarterback, sharing the role with Charlie Dew. And they've got Tuku Tau.
Everybody's in tight.
Tuku Tau there, number 1 running back. Here they go. It's a push play, trying to get the quarterback sneak to work out. I think they got there.
They got there.
They got the big man in behind, and Tuku Tau had a run up from behind as well. That is how you do a quarterback sneak.
Classic New Zealand team play there. Just get behind the big fellas and just roll right through it. Nice job. That gets them a little bit of breathing space now, and hopefully they can get a series going on.
Well, there is a lot of rugby culture in New Zealand, and in terms of the skills that can cross over, that quarterback sneak, moving a rucking maul or a scrum in rugby is something they should be teaching across codes.
Absolutely. I mean, who invented this forward pass thing anyway? Just keep scrum and rucking that from here.
Charlie Dew is back in at quarterback. They're taking a snap each at the moment. Dew, hand off to the running back. Tuku Tau makes his way through. Great reads. He had a few blocks, but not too much open. Got more yardage than you'd expect. And a great run.
Yeah, this is interesting by New Zealand now. It's a case of we'll see how the defence for Australia holds up, is literally just pounding the rock, as we say, and run. We'll start to see, are those defensive linemen and linebackers having their hands on their hips? Are they gasping for air, etc., into the second quarter here on a beautiful sunny day?
It's getting warmer as well, and as the game goes on, I wonder if fatigue is going to become a factor. We'll see that in the second half. At the moment, Charlie Dew sharing the low with Petone Lesse and spread his receivers here. They might go long. Dew. They're due for something to work out, and that didn't work out. Hit the ground before it could make it to the hands of Josh Dutton. And that brings up 3rd down.
You've got to get up and do an Academy Award like you caught it. So say, hey, no, ref, I really caught that. But again, a nice little sort of outside
Coach Hollywood knows how to coach those.
You got to get out and yes, I caught it.
Yeah.
Keeping it short again for that one. Still 3rd and short. Just trying to get a couple more extra yards on that short yardage play.
So Dew and a new running back in Heinrich Muller, the big man. Dew, he's got the bubble route open. Oh, I tried to find Muller, but Muller was further away than expected. 2 players go down in the mayhem, and 4th down is coming up.
Oh, that was lucky there, just with the swing pass. But what was even better is big number 64 seems to fall on the back of the quarterback's leg. And you could see the quarterback number 14 grimace in pain there when he probably got some studs in the calf muscle. That
does hurt, doesn't it? Being studded on the way down. So New Zealand really struggling to get things going on offense. They're going to have to bring their kicking team back on. 4th and 4. It's probably a little too long to go for it. Quarterback sneak was good, but it's not that good.
A little bit of confusion.
Here they go. They're going to kick.
Oh, it's a bad snap.
Daisy Matuga. Matuga the kicker. And it's whistled dead.
Oh, late flag from the left side referee.
An offside called early, and I think it's going to put New Zealand backwards.
And that's probably a better thing.
Give them a little more room, you reckon?
Oh, no, as in that could have happened because it's a dead ball penalty. That snap was bad. It was over the hand.
Yes.
Australia was coming. Australia possibly could have the ball on their 20-yard line for New Zealand, but because it was a dead ball penalty, they get to redo it again. So we'll have to keep an eye on the snap here.
It's got to be a good snap. Everything starts with the snap. Daisy Matuga is ready to punt. Here it is, good snap this time, but Tuga gets a handle on it and roasts it, but just gets not enough on it in terms of downward pressure. That's going to make it to the halfway and give Australia and Jared Stegman a very favourable field position to restart.
Anytime you can start pretty much on or about the halfway line is great. It really gives you open playbook there. If you saw on the last play there, basically the Australian team sent the corners, so nobody was covering the wide receivers for New Zealand. But it's that risk of, do you want to pass it to them in 4 yards and somebody's short on that. But keep an eye on that a little bit later on, see what happens there.
So Stegman back in the hot seat. Still the only score has been scored by the Australian defence. Neither offence able to score yet. Catch made by Robert Corcutt, a fellow player on the Bayside Ravens with Stegman. Those two have a connection over the years and over the 6 premierships they've won that has developed well. In terms of what you're looking for from offence to break this game open, what's going to work for Australia, do you think?
I think still that short game of, they had trips to the field there, so, and but trying to isolate Robbie Corcutt because they believe that's one of their best players. But it's one of those things, just still testing a few people out, wide side passes.
Shovel pass this time, out to the left, that short side, and they get pushed out of bounds as Alapisi Alama makes his way to the sideline.
I know for a fact the running backs coach is super excited for Australia, super excited about this game, and he's given the challenge to the three main running backs is trying to have a combined total of 300 yards. So that's catching and running. So
wow.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a bit more to the outside yet, but again, trying to set it up.
So watch the run game. That goes nowhere. That run game didn't really work out, but might be enough. They needed a couple of yards on 3rd down. It'll either bring 4th and short or a fresh set of downs, depending on where the referee spots it.
No, he's given the 4th down signal.
So it is short. 4th down and short.
This is
Jared Stegman.
Going for it.
Here they go. And why not? I feel like the momentum's with the green and gold right now. Jared Stegman's been in this position before plenty of times for Queensland, for the Bayside Ravens. Here he is in green and gold, and that'll do it. That gets the yardage. They move the sticks, and Australia are going to continue this drive.
Nice rollout by Stegman there. I'll have to have a look, see if he gets any pressure, but it's just a nice little bubble route by Tyson Gunham. You can see the number 7 for New Zealand. He's playing what we call inside leverage, so Tyson has the outside. He's going to get that pass every day. Just moving the chains now, reflect 1st down.
Hot day, the chain gang doing a great job and maybe a little slow to react on that occasion.
Definitely a slip-slop day. Get that sunscreen on.
Jared Stegman is moving his team downfield like a steam train. They have the wind at their back, even though they're facing into the wind. Feels like everything's going green and gold way this time. Stegman straight downfield. Oh, a bullet thrown to his receiver and dropped. That was so unlucky as Tyson Garnham floated through the air, couldn't bring it to the ground.
This is going to be great spot. That camera worked right down the gun there. Just the pass is probably a little bit high, a little bit behind Tyson, but you can see Stegman had that safety in the middle of the field there that he probably didn't want to throw past or to. That safety was coming down, just a little bit behind, but otherwise the middle of the field is open.
So they've gone to the edge on multiple occasions, and the middle of the field is opening up as an option, especially if Garnham can rein that in. Everyone moving one way. Instead of cut across the grain, he lofts it out of bounds, this time Stegman. I feel like there was a miscommunication. He held his hands up as if expecting a receiver to be there.
Absolutely, Kate. It's a design roll, reverse rollout, and I think he was looking for someone down the sideline because the plays were coming across. But yeah, you're absolutely right. He put the hands up saying, a bit of miscommunication there. Also, too, if you would have seen in the last formation, they were very, very tight. Now they're going back out to spread. So again, keep an eye out of, are they in a tight formation, then that means they're going to roll out to the wide side, or they're going to try and spread out the defense and create a few more holes for that run game.
Fantastic to have the insights of Coach Hollywood with us as we watch this Australia versus New Zealand test match with Jared Stegman at quarterback for the green and gold. That one's dropped. Gee, it was drilled straight to the chest of Timochi Tuikaba and dropped right in the breadbasket. A coach killer.
Oh, this is one of those things that as a coach or the coaching staff, the team are full of athletes, international representatives. It is the nerves, it is the mental. For me,
Do you
sports
think
psychology.
that's the more important part?
Absolutely. Sports psychology for me is key. They're all great players in their own right. They catch 99 balls out of 100, but, you come to this stage, put on the green and gold with your coat of arms, that mental aspect creeps in.
Jared Laws with a beautiful torpedo into the air. Lands at the 20, it'll bounce down and collected just past the 20. And that's where New Zealand will take over. So both sides being stopped by defensive work. And really, the defence have been all show today. The only score of the day was by the Australian defence.
Yes, and special teams, absolutely. It's one of those things. It's really interesting, that chess game of Coach Clem Park is the offensive coordinator. He's trying to figure out the defence. New Zealand, trying to figure out the Australian defence, etc. Coming in with a playbook and what they're trying to work. So again, we're almost halfway through the second quarter now. You want to start to see a little bit more opening up and more successive drives from here.
New Zealand back in. Throw out left, another swing round. Here they go. Number 42, Matuga. Put the Jets on and turned downfield. Made the first down marker, and they'll move the sticks. This is what they need, a few chunk plays in a row.
Great little comeback route there. You can either call it a whip or a little snake route. And then basically the offensive left tackle, as soon as that ball was thrown, he is running out to go and get that cornerback. So it was a great pass, great route, and good job for New Zealand.
It's Petone Lesse again in at quarterback. Ben Davies at tailback. Handoff to Davies. Oh, he's cemented by 3 players in green and gold, and he just lands back at the line of scrimmage.
Good combination there by the defensive line and the linebackers for Australia, just swarming in on the ball. There's that. Noticing the corners there, the short side corner to the boundary is playing outside, and the wide side corner is playing inside the receiver. So he's basically daring you to throw over the top of him. So it's one of those little cat and mouse games of, the corner, as you see here, the left side, he's going to have help with the safety. And the wide side over here is that corner. You can see how he's inside. He's basically daring to throw over the top.
Petone Lesse, handoff to the big man. Gets up the guts again. This is a great move by Heinrich Muller, who's cut inside and just found his way through, barreling through players. I don't think it was enough to get the first down.
No, but this is good. Just keep that tempo. I like it. As you said before, Kate, it will wear the defensive and linebackers down. So if we just keep going, New Zealand just trying to keep running that rock up the middle and getting those yards for the first down. But you're right, you literally need 3.5 yards of play to get another first down.
So it's 3rd and short here. They could really just muscle it through Petone Lesse, and he's got the big man right next to him. You know what's coming, Heinrich Muller. Instead, they go backwards, and I don't know if that's going to do it.
He looks short. It's really dangerous, Kate, with that is if a running back has to do a jump cut, as you'll see here, right about there, if he has to do a jump cut there and he's behind the line of scrimmage, that's going to stop all that momentum of trying to get there. And he saw the hole to the left, but that is basically the defense is doing a great job.
We had Heinrich Muller ahead of him, hoping to get the big block, and it didn't really work out the way they drew it up. New Zealand now consulting the playbook. I wonder if they're going to try and take this on 4th and short. They have enough bodies to muscle this over.
94, the road train, Muller on the left side.
All the big men up front. Muller to lead the way. Confusion all over the place. Petone Lesse still has it at quarterback. And did he make it back to the line of scrimmage?
He looks to be short. I'm just watching the referee on the left-hand side. He's walking in. I think he's short. Nice job from New Zealand, I thought, though. The play-action fake there, because you're really going to try and watch that running back go where he's going. The quarterback kept it, but options ran out very, very quickly after that.
So it looks like it'll be a turnover on downs. The referees are having a discussion about where to spot it. May even be a penalty on this play. As you can see on your screen, there is a flag. Not sure if that was thrown by accident.
We have a low block. Defense, number 28. 10 yards from the previous spot will be a first down.
Well, that is a gift to the New Zealand offense. A free 10 yards on 4th down. And instead of handing the ball over, they get 10 yards downfield and a chance to go again. The drive is alive.
pure safety reason for that case. That's the penalty for the low block. We're trying to keep it above the waist.
Tone Lesse, chance to throw, it's blocked. Batted away by number 66 in green and gold. Faumui of the UTS Gators makes himself known.
Great back down here, but more importantly, Joel Maddock on the end, he thought he would gift this. If he can just catch the ball right there, Joel's going to take that to the house and let everybody know about it. So close. Great job. That's great technique from a defensive line. Just put the hands up. Make sure you disrupt the passing lane, and you might come off with a tipped intercept.
So second down, Pitone Lesse. 2nd and 7 with a spread out field, really wide. That's whistled dead before the play can unfold.
Interesting concept. They've got the big, I'm going to call him the road train. I think it's more than 94, you said. He's out there. 42's been catching the ball. If 94's out there, I think he's primarily the blocker. So look for him to shoot out to the corner and try and block that cornerback straight away. But interesting play there is I think they pulled the guard again. So it could have been a reverse bootleg by the quarterback. So New Zealand starting to put a few tweaks in here.
New Zealand at the halfway yard line, 50-yard line. They were forced backwards by a penalty. 5-yard penalty does them no favours. Tone Lesse's got to make up ground.
Screen.
Blitz coming really quickly. Screen's worked out. The play to Tukutaka.
Still going.
Yeah, he's still going. He got the blocks, and on the left side, he's going to keep continuing the run. Finally brought down at the 15. Tukutau, who absolutely blew us all away. I thought he would be down by then, but there was a mess of bodies. Somehow he continued to drive those legs.
And again, big 94 out. You could see that straight away. He just went to block. The whole offensive lineman left to go left, departed to go left, and started blocking. And I think that's a key thing there, Kate, is we've seen New Zealand not really get past the line of scrimmage on their runs, but it just showed us once they do get past the line of scrimmage, they can be dangerous.
Really dangerous. They've certainly got the power, and they've moved it all the way up within the red zone now. It's New Zealand's chance to strike first with an offensive score, but we're just going to take a little moment because one of the Australian players looks to be injured. Ryan Newton, number 97, has taken a knee on the field.
It's Rhino, tough as nails, that fella.
A local Gold Coast Stingrays player. He's walking off of his own power, which is always good to see.
He might have got under a mass of those bodies from the screen once the offensive lineman went out.
Turn that half.
Just missed the comment there from the referee. I think he was telling us how much time was left in the half.
New Zealand still in possession. That is the headline story. And first down within the red zone for the first time in the game. First half. The drive continues and they've got momentum now. Pitone Lesse, handoff. This looks nice. Screens up front. Oh, he's pulled down and the momentum stopped. Ben Davies almost had a lane. And he had his eyes on the end zone, didn't he?
That's one of those ones. You always make sure your jersey tucked in.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing that stands between you and the end zone. New Zealand going out wide.
Just pulled to a stop and he almost shrugged it off. Excitement is building, though, on the New Zealand sideline.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I feel like this is going to be the drive. If they're going to score this half, this will be it. Tukutau is still in at running back, and we know what he can do. Pitone Lesse under center at quarterback. Handoff this time to number 1, Kalfana. And Kalfana finds his way straight through like a highway. It opened up. The Red Seas parted, and Kalfana made his way through. Wow, they're really close now.
That's just a simple fullback dive. Everybody looking at the running backs, but the fullback is the first person past the quarterback, and that's just a nice quick fullback dive straight up the middle, and that's sort of what you'd expect around about this territory, being around about what do you reckon, Kate? About 7 yards away?
Number 66. Half distance to the goal.
Well, now it's even closer, 3.5 yards or so. And wow, New Zealand really in the hot seat now. In terms of the momentum swings that we were talking about earlier, this is really feeling like the Kiwis have all the momentum with them.
Absolutely, and with that penalty, it's a new first down. So they've now got literally 4 chances to go into this end zone from where, what do you reckon, Kate? About the 3-yard line, 4-yard line?
It will depend on where they spotted the earlier one. I think if they get a generous spot, but they're within 5, and the Kiwis certainly surprised if they're going to be scoring first on offense. Australia had their defensive score, and that was mostly due to an error by the All Blacks. New Zealand showing they can mix it with the best.
That's a great point, Kate. Yeah, you've got to remember that first score for Australia
It was an error.
was special teams for that, and this is going to be the game's possibly first offensive touchdown. We'll see how we go and what Team Australia defence can hold here.
So Tolu Pitone Lesse to make the first score for New Zealand in this test match. They've got the big men in. Muller is at the back, and tailback is Tuku Tau. Handoff to the tailback, Tuku Tau. He's tripped up just short.
Oh.
Knee down. Whether he broke the plane of the end zone, it will depend where they spot it. I don't think so. The arms have not gone up. They're within a yard of the touchdown.
Keep your eye on the referee on the right-hand side. He came running in literally a yard short from that. Nice job of just the fullback. They're not running. You saw with 94, he's to the left of the formation, but they're actually running to the right. So interesting job here of how they mix it up, not necessarily always going behind 94. 1 yard out.
2nd and 1. 2nd and goal. Pitone Lesse. And it's a quarterback sneak. They just need a yard, and they've got it.
He's
New
in.
Zealand are in for the touchdown. Tolu Pitone Lesse puts the team on his back, and they even things up here in the Gold Coast.
Great job by the New Zealand offensive line and the centre. You know, there's no glory in that position. You're just going to get run over. So I'm coming right behind you. He's going to take the sneak and sort of roll to the right. Get the shove. Remember, you're allowed to push the player. Assisted the runner.
Heinrich Muller making himself known back there, and as well, Tuku Tau had a little shove on the end as well. They had 2 running backs, and it didn't matter because Pitone Lesse was going in. They decided it. Now here comes the point after touchdown. Extra point to level things up. So Lele Afamasaga, the kicker.
He wasn't ready.
And he kicked it well, Afamasaga. Split the uprights with a low kick. And that will even things up by the looks of things. Referees are having a conversation.
Yeah, the kicker, if you watch the replay, the kicker's actually talking to the holder when the ball snapped. He wasn't ready, so. Did we go wide?
Here's another angle.
You can see the kicker actually taking a step back before he kicks it.
Well, he did well to readjust. Certainly looked like the point was there.
Result of the play, illegal formation, kicking team. That'll be declined, no extra point.
Okay, so he missed the kick, but there was no kick. The kick is no good anyway because of the illegal formation.
So from our angle, it's obviously difficult to tell, but the kick was missed. Apologies, those at home. And so New Zealand trail by 1 point in this test match with under 2 minutes to go in the first half.
That's all right, Kate. The people at home, we are completely at the other end of the field and we are looking into the sun. And that is quite hard to see down that end.
So New Zealand, though, back within a point. That's crucial because they'll go into the halftime sheds either very even, close to it, unless Australia can return serve and get some points on the board very late in this half. And of course, the last 2 minutes is where all the action happens, so do not leave your seats just yet.
Yeah, spot on, Kate. This will be interesting to see what Coach Glenn Park does in the offense. Is it going to be a hurry-up 2 minute drill from down his own end zone?
Matuga, end-over-end kick. Reaches Calder Jade Shanks. Calder Shanks, one of the best kick returners in the game in Australia. Shanks finds a way to the outside, turns downfield across the grain, and then he meets a team of black defenders. They stop him short, and it'll restart at the 45.
It's great to see Shanks back. Yeah, very exciting, very explosive player. Really interesting there on the kick return coverage for Australia. Just you might have seen bodies going left and right, so you might have people on the right side going to block people on the left, and people on the left going to block people on the right. That's to try and get the confusion for the running lanes for New Zealand. But a fairly decent job there.
Calder Shanks has some of the best reads in the game when it comes to blocks. As a kick returner, I've seen him do incredible things here in Queensland. Oh, beautiful catch made this time. Jared Stegman finds the hands of Mitch Bessie. Those two have collaborated many times as Bayside Ravens players together. And this one was beautiful. Under pressure, makes the catch and takes it to ground, but there's a flag on the play.
And it came in fairly quick. I don't know if they've called it as a pick or a block.
Call is pass interference on the defense. That'll be declined. First down.
So Mitch Bessie able to make that play with a defender draped all over him. And that's some of the accuracy of Jared Stegman, because he put it out of reach of the defender, only within his receiver's reach. Mitch Bessie able to claw it in.
Big play, Bessie, and as you know, he's 19 metres tall and has an arm span of a mile, so that's why Stegman's putting it right out the front.
19 metres, clinically accurate measurement, apparently. But it looks like they've thwarted themselves. Either that or there was a mistake made with the spot. Nevertheless, play continues.
Trips out to the wide side of the field.
Stegman, he does look right. Goes inside to the slot receiver, who's met quickly by a defender. That's Max Schlatter with the reception, who scored in the Queensland Sun Bowl, was an incredible player for the Brisbane Rhinos, who were runners-up to the Bayside Ravens.
Had the honour of coaching Max there for the Queensland team several months back. Great player. Stegman finds something out over the middle now. You see those passes are coming over the middle.
Motion in the backfield. There's a handoff, and it's Calder Shanks again, who's met with the big line of New Zealand. He gets a couple of yards. This is good. They keep moving, which is what they want to see.
And you'll see, Kate, they're not all checking their watches. Everybody has wristbands either on their wrist or on their belt. And this is the 2-minute drill, the sort of faster drill that they will have the names of the plays on that and what they need to do, so they don't have to huddle as quick.
2nd and 8. Stegman finds his man out wide, and there's a chance for Schlatter to go. Schlatter gets to the first down and gets out of bounds, and that's clever because that stops the clock and gives them a little time to reset.
Nice, just a simple, really nice concept. Just a nice little bubble route by Max, not picked up. A little bit of confusion on the New Zealand side of who's marking who, and as you said, out of bounds, and a nice job. Australia now going to the wide side of the field again. Trips formation.
Stegman, nice snap.
Stop, go.
Got time in the pocket, and he lofts it out to the end zone. He had time and space. James Fountain was there, just couldn't get right to the ball on time. Stop and go route here. He's just going to hitch it like that, and it's a timing. It's a big timing play. This play, and it's got to be done right. But they had him. So Stegman, this time he's got Calder Shanks in the backfield with him. 3 receivers on the left. He goes right instead. He's got to beat one. Puts his head down and straight into the tackle of Samisi Falau. He's leveled. And they stop the clock. They stop the play. They won't stop the clock because it was inside. But I think a timeout will be taken by Australia just to settle down and keep things alive as they enter almost 30 seconds left to half-time. And that play call, Kate, tells me that they'll probably go for it on 4th down. Because they were either trying to get in the end zone. It was only just a one-person route, basically just throw the hitch, get tackled, make some yards. But that tells me, it's still 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. They'd go for it on 4th down from that. They're so close to the end zone now.
just about 20-yard line, I think.
It's actually going to be 3rd and 5, I believe, on the ground there. 3rd down marker. And you're right, I think they've got 2 downs here to go. They want to get 6 on the board. 3 won't cut it. Now, Stegman, we've seen his arm skills. We've seen him hand off. You haven't yet seen his legs, and he can run. So I'm just waiting to see when that might be brought out of the playbook by Coach Pete Brewer.
That breeze has picked up a bit, Kate, so I'd be interested to hear if they try and get somebody in the corner, or the middle of the field is wide open here, so watch for some receivers crossing. He's
throwing into the wind as well. Stegman looks to the left, faked, and then went long, and the post route, the corner route is good for Max Schlatter. They did it in the Queensland Sun Bowl, and they're doing it here again for the Australia versus New Zealand test. It's Schlatter in for 6.
And high fives all round. Just want to see here if Max does the wheel route. Is it an out and up? Because he's been catching the bubble, so everyone leaves him alone. Yeah, just a simple out and up route. Great play call.
It was great by Stegman. Used his eyes, faked to go to that post route, instead went out wide to the corner. And it tricked the defense enough that they were moved out of position, and Schlatter had enough space to make the catch. Brilliant execution. Point after touchdown, looked left of the upright, no good. So that keeps them within reaching distance. 13-6 is the score as we approach half-time.
Okay, you picked it up perfectly there. I think for me, at this level of football, you want to be able to incorporate the pump fakes or the play fakes, is because that will get those defenders are really itchy and they want to go the way you think they're going, they'll start running. So if you can pump fake one way and just draw the defenders only by a couple of feet off, then you can get the pass like to Max.
Jared Laws with the kick, just drifted to the left. He's into the wind, as we mentioned. The wind is blowing out that way, so he was kicking into the wind and maybe didn't account for it. New Zealand have 20 seconds on the clock or thereabouts. Our clock's not entirely accurate as they're not tuned to the referees, but they're pretty similar. So not much time on the clock. New Zealand a chance to go to the other end if they can make it there. Australia must kick off first. I wonder if there's going to be a play made on kick return or if they'll let it bounce rather than let the clock go.
And they've been angling it to number 29 there for New Zealand, so let's see if they try and kick the same direction again.
So if New Zealand return this, the clock starts and they are using time. If they do not return it, they have all of those 20 seconds to use on offense. Do they trust their special teams to make a play? Here goes, ball in the air.
It's short.
Tuku Tau is going to make the return. Jump cut. Beats one. Gets inside. Beats a second. Pinballing around. He's still going. Tuku Tau. And he's finally brought down. A great return. Gets them past halfway. Okay. There's things that are happening now for New Zealand.
Ripper of a return. You're just seeing the all go, no quit. And you can see what I'm loving about this New Zealand team, both on offense and defense. They're all trying to assist that ball carrier. Either they want to tackle as a pack, or the play's still going. You know, let's get in there and help and push and go from that. So really great effort by New Zealand.
Pinball machine in the middle. Tuku Tau. He just kept the legs driving, got him over halfway. And there's enough time, maybe for two, definitely one. Depending what they do, it's got to go out of bounds here. It's got to stop the clock. They heave it to the right side, New Zealand. Oh, that's going to be too long, and it's dropped before it can be picked off by Max Schlatter. So that will do it. I think that takes us into half-time, unless our clock is a little bit inaccurate. And that will be half-time, according to the referees on the field. So 2 quarters in the bag, 2 quarters to go in this Australia versus New Zealand test match in the American Football Australia Festival of Football here on the Gold Coast. We have so much more action to come. We're going to take a short break for halftime. Kate Allman here alongside Coach Hollywood.
Hey.
And we can't wait to bring you the second half. Stay tuned.
Half-time score is 13-6 to Australia.
Good. Solid. So what do they need to look at? 23 needs to pick up more probably every other player.
So what do you think on D? Because Coach Harry is from my club. He's the head coach.
Like they're really good.
Yeah. The only thing he didn't want anybody to help him with, so he said, oh, you can help me with eyes. 23? Yeah. Both guys. Because he's trying to on everything.
Not like every play.
Hey, on the people side, 65, that's Seth Leo. That's my boy from the league. Remember? Is it?
Good.
We'll pass it out to my CBS.
Hey.
Go up there. Oh, jump up there if you can. I'm too old, I gotta watch.
Physio.
I'm excited.
Physio, he needs a rub in. He needs a rub down. I do. My feet need to.
Strike 3 already.
You have a table here?
I never know I strike pitches.
No, for real?
Yeah, it's been hitting me in the head all day. I never knew he was throwing them either.
From our vendors before they run out. Ladies and gentlemen, a Mitsubishi car fee handed in. It's at the control tent. And there's also some merchandise that hasn't been collected. If it's not collected by the end of half time, we'll find it on eBay.
So they're cheap.
receivers don't run it. Check it. Just real short stuff. Some of them came for 2 days, some came for 1. You know,
Come back from school, it's got fun.
yeah, but I was like, hey, I see your business. I know it's your first time. Yes, yes.
Twice. And I was a team downstairs. The third time, they gave me like,
Yeah, but like, just listening. Oh, and he was like,
Romeo still staying with us there now? Okay. Oh, good shape.
5 minutes ago. So I'm good, don't take
Filming gear.
Oh.
No, it's your son's.
Looked like you had a gun in there, bro.
I suppose it does. It's set up for a camera.
You're the man, Uncle.
Welcome back to this Australia versus New Zealand Test match. Second half just kicking off now on your screens from the Gold Coast. It's Australia plays New Zealand. Australia in the lead as they take a kick return back out to the 30-yard line. It's Kate Orman, the voice of American football in Australia, alongside Coach Hollywood, John Rowe in commentary with you. And it's been a fast start for Australia, who were able to get the stop and the touchdown early from their special teams. Apart from that, though, New Zealand really need to get back in this game.
Absolutely. Welcome back, everybody. Ripper of an afternoon of American football here. So we'll start to see what Australia's going to come out, if they're going to open the playbook a little bit more, Kate, I reckon.
Jared Stegman, local boy in Queensland, is quarterback for the green and gold. He's going to start things off here. Looking to the right side, and it's a deep throw. And there's space out in front, but he had to go up and climb the ladder. James Fountain reached his heights and brought the ball down. That was a special catch.
A ripper of a catch. Went up and got it. Hope he didn't injure himself or get winded on the landing. Looked like he has a little bit. But interesting there. Australia coming out straight away and going straight to the air. Just a nice little fade around the outside. The cornerback is on the inside. Stegman's just got to put the ball out in front. Goes up and gets to the highest point.
That's the first we've seen from James Fountain. Out on that right wide receiver. He's going to go back to him. Oh, nearly picked off. Junior Solia of Raiders fame from New Zealand, almost raiding and taking it to the house. He had a lane in front, and he had his eyes on the end zone.
Absolutely. He only had 50 yards to rumble. Interesting throw there. I thought Stegman had an interesting option there and went with the wrong one, obviously.
And to go straight back to the same guy, I think it was probably predicted by the defense. Nevertheless, exciting start for this second half. Jared Stegman, for those who don't know, played in the Queensland Sun Bowl in the premiership winning side, the Bayside Ravens, and those Ravens have 6 Queensland championships. He has been the quarterback for most of them. He's chasing a 7th, and I'm told that if he gets 7, he will retire.
He's always complaining, oh, I'm getting too old for this, everything like that.
He's past 35, and he's still throwing like a young man. He's obviously played so long, but he's got experience around the world in Turkey, in Sweden, in Germany, in Japan. Even has a YouTube channel where he's documented his career. But he'd just love to get one over New Zealand, who are the perennial rivals for Australia. One down the middle, and it's dropped again through the tips of the fingers, and that one should have been brought down. It was well within the reach of his receiver.
Just looking at the middle of the field is open. The safety's way back. You can see there. That's great. That would have been a great catch if he coming off there, but Segman just got to be a little bit more accurate with that. Receivers aren't looking back into the sun, so I think, as we saw before, Tyson Garnham lost the big fade route in the sun as well. So look for Australia to try and take some opportunity here to launch some long passes.
Australia past halfway.
It's a fake.
It is a fake, and they go right.
Oh,
he's dropped it. There's a fumble. New Zealand keep it in. They punch it back inside. Who's fallen on it? Looks like the green and gold recovered. Well, the presence of mind by the New Zealand to punch back in. Watch this replay.
Yeah. Ball's out now. This player here, great job. Great job of flicking that back in for somebody to get.
And keeps the opportunity alive for his teammate to turn over. But it looks like they're going to turn it over anyway. A quick 3 and out for Australia, despite the impressive catch and long throw.
I've just heard New Zealand say, offense, let's go.
We've got a 4th down fumble. Turnover on downs right here.
So you heard it there from the referee. 4 down and out. Fumble on the 4th. New Zealand with half a field, just 50 yards to get to the end zone. This is good for the team that are chasing the game. Charlie Dew back in at quarterback. They've got 2. He looked right, went left, and down the middle, and he's got a man! And they've got the catch. That helps tremendously as New Zealand march through Daisy Matuga, who can not only run and take catches under pressure, but he can ensure they'll move it all the way to the 15.
Great throw. Had a pump fake to the right, came back to the left, held that safety for Australia in the middle. It was late getting over. Puts it right down the front there. That's a great job.
Brilliant placement by Charlie Dew at quarterback to Matuga, who's one of the larger wide receivers, very powerful body. Under pressure from 2 defenders, able to bring that to ground. Here's Dew. Dew looking for Matuga, instead goes down the middle and went to ground instead. Ben Davies was open, but he released it late. Charlie Dew.
One of those things, Kate, where he actually wanted to go to number 3 in the corner, then started running and said, oh, there's somebody open, but my feet aren't right, my mind's in a different spot. And unfortunately, that ball went straight to the ground. But as you said, he was wide open in the middle of the field there.
Almost had more time than I think he expected to go down the middle. If we see this again, just opened up.
Yep.
New Zealand in the red zone. Charlie Dew at quarterback. He wants to go to Matuga. He's going to go the other way across the grain. He's got room to run, and this time it's nearly picked off by Max Cusson as he saw his man open once more, but took too long on the ball.
Great job by Max. Max, back in 2020, Australian under 18 player. The receiver there, I think the quarterback for New Zealand didn't know what to do. He had so many people open. There was actually 2 people open on the left side, and then 2 people came open in the middle. All he had to do was pick one and throw it. And I think, again, just that mindset of everyone's open. Who do I throw it to?
It's like he needed to make a decision, was unable to do by all of the craziness that was going around, mayhem around the quarterback. Charlie Dew has been in a quarterback, but Tolu Pitone Lesse is in now. Number 12, under center. Handoff to the running back. He's got space outside. Can he keep going? Beats one tackle and finally brought down. He only gets a couple of yards past the line of scrimmage. They're still beyond the 10, New Zealand.
New Zealand going back to their run-heavy offense there, but it's one of those things, Kate, that's such a long play to develop. You said only about 1 or 2 yards gain, but the player had to run 15 yards to the sideline to try and get up.
That's the thing, so much energy burned, and it's 4th down, 4th and long for New Zealand. They're going to go for it by the looks of things. They are chasing the game. Field goal won't move them into the winning position. They want to take home the trophy today. Pitone Lesse making their intentions known, the Kiwis. What can they make happen? Fake the handoff. He's going to throw. Pitone Lesse. Nobody open. Nobody home. That goes flat, and Australia get the stop in the red zone.
Receiver number 23 there looking for a pass interference call for New Zealand, but it wasn't going to happen with the pass being that way that was thrown. That's fine, Kate, for the New Zealand to go there. I mean, watch New Zealand defence now. See if they're going to tee off and try and really get a safety here against Team Australia. This will be an interesting how the Team Australia will try and get out of this predicament being backed up in the end zone.
Jared Stegman's going to be backed up to the 5. If they can blitz him, and I'm sure that's what's happening. Oh, Stegman, the worst case scenario. He's got to use his legs. He gets out of bounds, fumbled the snap. It was a low snap, difficult one, and he made the most of it to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Okay, spot on. What I think we see here is referee coming in from the side, and New Zealand players were very, very slow to get off the field, and I think they ended up having 15 people on. So that helped Team Australia there with that bad snap, and that's something you definitely don't want here in your own end zone. Everyone just needs to focus on that and focus, hey, you're backed up here. We can't have any mistakes. Oh, he's waved the flag off, I think. Yeah, flag is waved off. Yeah, just New Zealand were very slow in walking off the field, and they still had some big fellas on.
I think they were get out of jail free card there, as you say, because would have gifted Stegman some yardage. Instead, he's still backed up at the 10, 2nd down and 6. Biggie Rama, tall running back, can make his way to the edge, but he can't make his way downfield. Again, they are using so much energy, burning it to get to the edge, unable to make the most of any yardage gain, though. I'm
not sure if it's the line blocking system, but that defensive line, left side of the defensive line for New Zealand, they were through that line, Australian line, very, very quickly. So you've got to do a better job of either angles or blocking there.
So Stegman needs his big men up front to stand tall. Biggie Ramana is in at running back again. Biggie Ramana's going to run, and so is Stegman. Stegman takes the ground he sees in front of him. He can get outside. Did he get to the first down marker?
Oh, it's close.
Oh, it's inches from it. I reckon they're going to have to spot it and maybe even measure it. It will really depend on how generous the referee is here.
I saw him give the signal there of being short.
I think it might be short, and it'll be 3rd and short if so. Very short. 4th and inches, in fact. So you wonder if this is just going to be a quarterback sneak. Biggie Ramana is in at running back. And they drew offside, and that's a free play. Clever penalty drawn by Stegman. That's his experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good call there by offensive coordinator. Just call the dead kill play. We're not going to go, and we'll think about it. Interesting on that last formation, Kate, is even though Stegman had to run, they ended up having 4 receivers to the right side. So something was going to happen. That concept was going to happen. Maybe look for that later on. So we had 3 receivers to the right, plus the running back, which was the 4th. So that's something we haven't seen so far from Team Australia. They really want to try and flood that right-hand side or the field side.
So Stegman with a fresh set of downs can restart things here as the sun sets in the Gold Coast on this Australia versus New Zealand test match. He goes out wide, another swing play. Gee, the legs are still going. This man pinballed around. An incredible run by Tyson Garnham. He was able to stay upright for much longer than he should have. He had no right to be still running.
Great centre of gravity, great balance from the old fella.
Explosive and a good change of direction kind of runner from Victoria, Tyson Garnham. Fake handoff again, motion in the backfield. Stegman steps
Wants
left,
Bessie.
goes right, goes downfield. He's got a lane. This time the blocks work out for the quarterback. Stegman climbs the ladder downfield. And he's pushed out of bounds finally by Christian Denton. That'll move the chains.
Nice job. Initially, Stegman, if you have a look at the replay, he actually wants Mitch Bessie going right down the middle of the field on the long pass and then said, nope, I'll take it myself. And again, Kate, you'll see they're not huddling at all. Everyone's looking at their cue cards. Everyone's looking at their wristbands.
Yeah.
And you have New Zealand right now having to make substitutions, and they don't have time to huddle.
So Stegman showing some of the versatility. He's got legs. He can run as well. Tyson Garnham makes this reception with a couple of yards on the end.
Again,
They're rolling now, Australia.
just going with the quick sort of bubble screen pass there, and I think they're trying to negate, as I mentioned before, Kate, is that defensive line for New Zealand is flowing really, really fast. So they want to try and get them out quick and get them away from the middle so they can probably run back up the middle again.
Motion again. Stegman fakes the handoff. No, he does hand off. He fooled everyone, including me. And now the line just pushes forward for extra yards. That might just be shy of the first down marker. It'll pull up a 3rd and short for this Australian side. In fact, they're moving the chains. Well done.
First down. Nice work. Okay, Kate, that's exactly what I'm talking about, is they had the wide out passes, the defense was flowing, and then they run straight back in the middle because those linebackers now are too much worried to try and get outside real quick.
Bit of quick tempo now by Stegman. They're getting out to the line really quickly and getting set up. He's going to drop back, looks to pass, a long ball. It's open, there's a man there, and he's got it!
Bessie.
He's got the touchdown. Mitch Bessie climbed the ladder to heaven and brought the ball down with safety despite the defense being all over him. It's Mitch Bessie with 6 for Australia.
Great combination there, not only the Bayside Ravens, but those two, Mitch Bessie, Jared Stegman, I think both first started with the Australian Outback in 2012 against the Polynesian All-Stars back then, so they joined at the same time, so great tried and true tested combination there. And again, throwing, as we mentioned before, throwing with the wind now. A couple of those passes from Stegman earlier today, they've been short, and the defense have got underneath him, but that one was definitely out in front.
You can feel the wind at his back now, Stegman. A chance to get the 1 point after touchdown now. And that one sailed left. The arms go up, so it just snuck inside the upright. An extra point tacked on to the 6 made by Mitch Bessie, and Australia go up 20-6 against New Zealand.
Okay, let's not forget, it was only literally 2 minutes ago, they were just here on their own 10-yard line. And they've done a nice job of driving the field. A couple of breakdowns there. Stegman had to use his wheels, but you don't want to do that too much, but that's something that New Zealand hasn't had to look at, Stegman running.
Well, we've seen him really switch on, I think, in this second half. We've seen what he can do when he goes against the grain, maybe switches the play, and also just decides to use his legs in those run play options. That's where Stegman is so dangerous.
I think also, too, is they're doing Team Australia is doing a really good job of not huddling, getting to the line,
Yes.
but still using that full 25 seconds to analyse the defence and then make a call from there.
That's the kind of experience when you've got a quarterback like Stegman that you can do. Jared Laws lining up to kick this off. Laws targeting the left side, and it's Matuga who's going to play this back. Kick returner, he's usually out at wide receiver. A mountain of people swarm him, and that's where New Zealand will start things off. They are chasing the game, 14 points behind at the moment, New Zealand.
Really nice job on the kickoff there. I think they pinned him right back on the goal line there. Maybe would have been better off just to let the ball go in the end zone and have it back out from the 20-25. But let's see what team New Zealand can do here.
So here come the Kiwis, chasing 14 points to stay in this match against their Trans-Tasman rivals. A chunk yardage there, and Australia's defence seem to have their tails up as well because they are swarming whoever has the ball.
Absolutely, just a screen pass there. You could tell the receivers stayed at the block straight away. The linemen were going out. New Zealand trying to set up the screen, and the defence read it to perfection, all flowed to it and went and made the tackle.
They didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage on that occasion. They actually went backwards, New Zealand. This is 2nd and long, 2nd and 12 or thereabouts. The snap's good, plenty of time in the pocket for the quarterback, and the throw just a little low for Asher Schwenke to grab that. Asher Schwenke has a flag football background and played for the Metro Lions at Capture the Flag, the tournament last year. That one just slipping through the fingers. Almost very much a makeable catch.
Yeah, just looking at an interesting route too. They were going the bump and run from there, and then just a little whip route out. But yeah, makeable catch.
So it's Charlie Dew in at quarterback. Ben Davies next to him. Going into the wind here. Dew has time in the pocket, gets outside the pocket anyway, makes a run, has a block in front, and tiptoes down the sideline to be knocked out of bounds at the 35.
Interesting, New Zealand sort of shying away from what their second quarter, run with Big 95, the freight train there, and getting to the outside, etc. Oh, a few players starting to cramp up.
So we might be just taking an injury timeout here as a couple of players, as you say, Coach, receiving medical attention for cramps. It's time to get the pickle juice out. It is heating up here. It started off at 21 earlier in the day. It's probably a few degrees warmer, and I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. Might have to look that up for our international viewers. It is warm, though, on the Gold Coast, and it's getting more difficult, especially for the teams facing into the sun. And with the wind behind them, the other team, really, it's a battle of two evils. Which do you pick? Do you want the sun in your eyes or you want the wind in your face?
Always for me, it was the weather. So
yeah.
The wind, you want to go with the wind.
Yeah. Always
with that. But yeah, it's still only 21 degrees, about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. But it's just one of those classic Gold Coast winter afternoons where the sun's at the right spot, and everyone hopefully has got slap, otherwise they're tanning up. But just a ripper of a day for a festival of football. Back in the day, I think in 2001, 2003, 2005, we played, the Australian Outback played the New Zealand Iron Blacks, they were called at the time.
Right.
And that was for the Oceania Bowl. So if anybody remembers back in those days, the Oceania Bowl is a huge, huge wooden sculpture of two snakes. And basically looks like a old style cartwheel, a wooden cartwheel. It's about that size too. And New Zealand first came here as part of that Oceania Bowl back in 2001 when we played them at Runaway Bay Sports Centre under head coach Paul Monera, and then we took an Australian team, the Australian Outback, over to New Zealand. I was the head coach for that, and we played in 2003, and then right before we left for the World Games in Duisburg, Italy, we played New Zealand Iron Blacks in Sydney before we left for the World Games. So haven't really played as senior men's, haven't played New Zealand for quite some time. The Australian under-18s, or the juniors as they say, I think they played them back in 2009, and I think that's when Jesse Williams was in the team before moving on to the NFL, and also then 2015 I think, which was the World Cup qualifier, and that was played in Sunshine Coast. So the under-18 team was the last team I believe to play New Zealand in any sort of representative fanfare. But it's just so great that New Zealand are back, and this is, Kate, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm hearing this might be a regular thing. This could be a yearly thing for this match.
I believe so, Coach Hollywood. You're absolutely right. We can look forward to this for the next 2 years, I believe, on the Gold Coast. And after that, we might be switching between New Zealand and Australia. Certainly, that's all to be discussed. But what we can tell you is American football is alive and well down under. And that is Australia and New Zealand down under. Here we go. We're going to restart things now as New Zealand looking to claw some points back with Charlie Dew in at quarterback. And it looks like he's been clever and called the defense offside. He'll get a free play penalty, and that'll give him an extra 5 yards, which is always handy.
I love the pointing though, Kate. It's like, they did it. So who's
94 offense. 5 yards. Still first down.
Okay, so I stand corrected. The offense made the penalty. In fact, they jumped early. Everyone points at everyone, and Coach Hollywood knows how to coach that sort of thing. So it was New Zealand that broke early, and now they have forced themselves backwards. An extra 5 yards to gain. Here they go, Dew. Fake throw that way.
Oh.
Hands it off to the right, tricked everyone. He's going to get back, claim back most of the yardage, nearly to the first down marker. I think just short, will depend on the spot.
Again, you can see there, Kate, we mentioned about before, that's a great job of pump fake, like you're going to throw the ball, and then hand it off from that, get to the outside. Nice job. And sets them up really, really well for just looking at the sticks getting moved down. Second down and about 3.
So second and short. This is good news for Charlie Dew. Starting to get something rolling for New Zealand. Handoff. And that's enough to move the chains. Well done. And the handoff was really well played. Coach Hollywood, you'd like the look of that. Almost thought it was going to the tailback. Instead went to the closer back.
Classic job in misdirection. That's why it's only a couple of yards away. Don't want to make it any harder than it needs to be. Nice job there. Pick up the first down.
New Zealand rolling now. Charlie Dew in the driver's seat. Coming into the wind, Dew turns to the run game again. 5-yard gain, still driving the legs, and Ben Davies finally brought down. About a 6-yard gain there. Very well done by the running back.
Ben Davies, he looks very hard to bring down. He's keeping the legs pumping. And it's a small players, but he's doing great. So keep up that great work. Again, same thing. The quarterback pump faking the throw and then handing off to Davies.
If he can get 5 yards at every handoff, that's good enough for a running back, isn't it? We often think of these huge explosive plays, but if you can be handing off and getting 5-6 yards every time, you continue to move the sticks, get that momentum going. So Charlie Dew playing smart football. This time he keeps and throws to the corner round, and he's got it! It's brought to ground by Joshua Dutton. What a catch in the air and in the sky with sun all around. I think he looked straight back into the sun, managed to locate the ball and bring it in under pressure. That is what you want from a wide receiver.
Sensational throw, sensational catch. They've been threatening to do that. It was one of those things that they've been run, or short pass, keeping everything close to the line of scrimmage. And just finally, with the wind, I don't think the wind played a part of that. It was just a great throw. Let's see what they're going to do here.
He's throwing into the wind, remember, so that was an incredible throw. Doubly impressive. A little bit of confusion here at the line of scrimmage. Charlie Dew's going to get things sorted. He's got 2 big men at back. Hands it to the second, and it's read well by the defense. Tackle made there by number 32 in the green and gold. 24 is going off as well. They're going to make some changes. So it was 52 that made the tackle. Joel Maddock from Bayside Ravens, defensive line. He's played at college in Arizona, Western College, and has NCAA experience. So that is the kind of tackle you'd expect from him.
Absolutely, and you saw it, though. He just knifed right through that. And he's a very, very energetic individual. So keep an eye out what he's going to do here.
It's Petona Lesse back in at quarterback. Going to talk to his running backs here. Expect a push and shove. Second man gets the handoff. He's got room outside. He's going to go all the way. He's in for the touchdown. It's Sio Sifa Tukutau. And having played an impressive game all first half, he finally gets the reward he's due. 6 on the board for New Zealand.
Sensational block on the outside there by the receiver just to wall the player out. But you can see it's a simple run. Everybody's run blocking. Nobody's doing anything else except blocking everybody. Really nice job. Nothing there. Got to bounce it. Look at the angles of the blocks. Number 8 on the receiving edge there. Number 8, sensational job. Really good job.
And there's a flag on the play here. Might be a delay of game as the clock was ticking down. Couldn't quite catch that from the referee, unfortunately.
They had 12 on the field.
Issues, but yeah, 12 on the field. Thank you, Coach Hollywood. So looks like New Zealand going to be put halfway to the goal to their advantage, and they might even bring the offense back to try and get 2 points on this play.
Expect anything here, Kat. They could be lining up for a kick, but watch out maybe for a 2-pointer.
Pitone Lesse is there. He is on the field. And it's going to be kicked, and the extra point is good. So New Zealand settle for 1. And that brings them within 7, which is a touchdown and an extra point, which is clever. They are 7 points behind Australia.
Absolutely, and it doesn't need to be pretty. It just needs to go through the uprights, which is exactly what it did. And yeah, you're right. They're literally only just a score and an extra point behind to bring this game back to a tie.
Low kick almost blocked. He only had a 2-step run up. That was interesting from Samuel Brown, the kicker, but it was good, and it doesn't matter how it looks. As you say, it's just got to go through the uprights.
I wonder if it's that rugby background. It's just a 2-step run up.
This sets up a very interesting second half and final quarter, as we're still a 1-score game. New Zealand definitely coming in as the underdogs, but at the moment really rolling with some momentum, having shown they can bring it on offense.
We've seen both offenses work, so I'll be interested to see what the head coach is saying over there to the defense.
Daisy Matuga, the man who can do it all, now kicking off. Here's Calder Shanks. Oh, he's dropped it. Oh no, he says he doesn't touch it. There's a flag thrown. It's gone out of bounds.
That's a smart play by Shanks there. If he hasn't touched it and that's gone out of bounds by its own accord, that Team Australia's going to get the ball back in a great field position. Heads up play.
So just explain the rule there, would you, Coach Hollywood, for those at home?
Kick out of bounds. 5 yards back and re-kick.
Okay, so there, it doesn't matter whether the kick goes out of bounds on the full or by bouncing, but if it goes out of bounds without the returning team touching it, then it is a penalty, and you can have some options there of whether you take it back 5 yards, or you can take it from the sport, or you can elect to re-kick again. So basically, Team Australia, that kick was very, very short. So have a look where Shanks is now. He's on the 20. If they kick another short one here and it stays inbounds, great field position first up.
So they retake the kick. It's Max Schlatter to return. Schlatter picks up 1 block. Still running. Surrounded by players and tackle made eventually by Brent Law for the Kiwis. So Australia bring their offense back on, and Jared Stegman to try and put some more points up.
Okay, I'll tell you what's fascinating is watching this game, and you realise that some people may never have played international representative football before. They only have their club or state, and it's very rare that you get blocking to the whistle or tackling to the whistle. So some players you'll see are like, oh, I've done my job, and all of a sudden they are getting pancaked to the ground and maybe having a whinge about it, but no, that's perfectly legal. You play from snap to the echo of the whistle. So it's really interesting to see, and I can see on a couple of teams that who's really playing for the full play, and then who's going, okay, I've done my job, and that's it. And I think also for me here too is clock management really comes into play right about now. About halfway through the third quarter, I think, is when you win or lose games. For me, everyone says, it's the fourth quarter when you win or lose it. For me, it's about halfway through the third, because you've got your momentum, you know what it is, and you can actually start to work that clock by certain play calling, and then you can march down and almost basically run the clock into the fourth quarter, score, give the other team back very little time, and then you just keep the ball from that and basically run the clock out. So I think it's one of those times right now, for me personally, right now, right here, this drive for Team Australia is where they win or lose it.
Big call there by Coach Hollywood. Win or lose, Australia got to make this drive count. So Stegman is back on. And Alama is into running back now. Motion in the backfield. Handoff goes to Alama. Alama goes downfield and muscled to the ground by Alafoku Kaufana, much to the excitement and jubilation of the Kiwi sideline.
They are going, California, they're going off. They love it. No matter what the score is, New Zealand football just love to have fun. Put on a big hit, put on a big play, everyone will go off.
Big hit, look at that. Possibly. So Stegman got to reset. Pass out wide. This time it's picked off. New Zealand have it. And there's all open space ahead of him. New Zealand are going to take it all the way down to the 10. He's finally stopped. It's Douglas Hugh Green with a huge run for the Kiwis.
This is, unfortunately, I'm going to say this is all Stegman. It's way underthrown. Great idea, great concept of the wheel route there, but you've got to get that ball outside and over the top. Unfortunately, just for Stegman, he couldn't get it there, and that corner was watching that the whole way. Great job by the corner. This will be a good angle of it. You can see just a simple wheel route. Buzzing out to the flat straight away. Great speed by the defender. And a great effort by the offensive lineman and Stegman to try and track him down.
Well, that has flipped the field, and Douglas Hugh Green has put his offense in the red zone. They're within 10, and there's a timeout going to be taken. A good time for Australia's defense to talk things over.
Timeout, Australia.
Okay, so I've just reflected on what I just said. Games are won or lost in the third quarter for me, and what's just happened?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So what do you think Australia are going to be talking about during this timeout?
Well, it's a case of, I think, for me, obviously it's the run, again, if they're going to just pound the rock in 3 times, or they've been trying to get to what we've seen down here in the bottom for people at home on this screen here to the left of the screen. They've been trying to get some receivers out there, and they've also had a bunch of people open in the middle. So it really comes down to what can Team New Zealand execute for me. So they do have options, and as we've said, sometimes the quarterback has been a little flustered, or his footwork hasn't been right, but the receivers have been there. So it's, again, do you go back to the bulldozer and just from here you run the ball 4 times and go from that, or do you try and put something sneaky in?
All options on the table for New Zealand, and Australia trying to slow down their momentum by taking a timeout. They really need to make this stop to hold on to their lead, whereas New Zealand within reach of tying this game up.
I think, Kate, here the key, Joel Maddock, Ryan Newton, number 97, Joel 52, and our Aussie linebacker 51. This is where they really need to step up and shut some things down.
New Zealand running to the line. They've got 14, Charlie Dew in at quarterback, 2 backs behind him. First and goal. Handoff. No, it's a fake. Instead, Charlie Dew keeps. Oh, he's going to get sacked. That is the worst possible outcome for the Kiwis. Australia with a massive defensive play, and it's 44 Bailey Connor out of Victoria who makes the sack.
Sensational job. I don't know if people at home could hear that, but all I could hear was helmets popping. So there was some contact. So everyone was up close, personal, in your face, trying to shut that run down. And if the quarterback is that close to the line of scrimmage, he's going to get in trouble, as we just saw.
A crunching play by Bailey Connor on defense. One of the tackles of the game sends them backwards. Kiwis looking to score. Daisy Matuga is out wide. He looks straight to Matuga. Matuga has it. Has to beat 2. And he's brought down. Couldn't get through the tackle. Selby Scott was first to the man, and then it was Noah Wilson who was able to wrap him up.
Great job by those 2 defenders, because as we've seen with 42, he's a unit, and he's catching that. It's almost like another running back out wide. But I picked up something there, Kate, is the quarterback and number 42 were looking at each other, before the play. You're doing this.
That's the end of the third quarter.
So that does take us through to three-quarter time. As you say, there was an interesting look there. Matuga was almost through to the end zone, but the defense read it like a book. And we will take a couple of minutes break as we flip ends, and Australia goes towards the sun now. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter.
Before 9 o'clock. He was like, halftime was like 1 minute. The whole game he was flying. You know what I mean? It's a serious game. The more I yelled at him, the more he pulled like 3 after me. He's like, dang. Yeah, you only had 2 to the second half. And we're on the 1 yard line. Okay, guys, not move the whole next.
Kate Allman alongside Coach Hollywood in commentary. We're watching the Australia versus New Zealand senior men's test match. New Zealand in a position to strike back and tie this game up. Quarterback has time. Got to make a move around to the left. Gets outside the pocket. Oh, blasting tackle to the sideline, and it stops him short of the first down marker.
Bailey Connor, number 44, the linebacker for Australia, doing a great job chasing that down, forcing number 14 out of bounds. I don't think quarterbacks, we don't usually like, you're a quarterback, ex-quarterback, I'm an ex-quarterback. We don't like getting hit in the field of play. So you can see 14 running for his life to the corner to get out of bounds there, but really good job there by 44 for Australia.
Timeout, New Zealand.
Right, New Zealand really want to make the most of this. It's fourth down, and it looks like they want to go for it. They know they need 7 points. There's 15 minutes left in this game. It feels like now is a good time to risk it.
I'm thinking, absolutely risk it, but they've taken a timeout now. I think they should have had a timeout when they were down here and thought about, hey, what are the next 4 plays going to be? Whereas, we've had incomplete pass, a sack, the quarterback runs out of bounds, and now Team New Zealand is just taking a timeout now to think about it. I was like, should have done that a little bit before. Maybe this is one of those things. The thing I love about Team New Zealand is they have some of the best trick plays, the best special teams, the best razzle-dazzle stuff. So, does the coach get something out of the playbook here, or are they going to go back to something that's tried and true, or are we going to try something different? Oh.
All remains to be seen. Looks like they're going to kick it. So all of us were mistaken. They want to claw back 3 points in the field goal attempt by Afa Masaga to come. The kick's up and it's good. He splits the uprights, Afa Masaga, and draws his team back within 4 points of Australia.
Okay, I like that. That's okay. I stand corrected there. Have a timeout, have a think, get your field goal unit right, get the 3 points. It's a touchdown to win. Don't have to worry about a field goal or extra point.
Well, the thing is, it's either way, it was a touchdown to win. So I feel like they could have risked it for the biscuit and they'd be in the same position. If they miss it, there's still a touchdown to win. So an interesting decision made. Maybe it's about momentum. Maybe it's about points on the board to just try and get something behind them, something to show for that drive.
At least they don't have to worry about a PAT, because if they score a touchdown, the score stay as is, it's 22-20 and they win the game. Whereas again, the PAT for that touchdown that may come doesn't have to worry about that. I'm really interested to see now, how does Stegman come back from this, or do they make a QB change in the last quarter?
So here's the kickoff. New Zealand kicking into the sun, spiraling ball. Here comes Schlatter. Schlatter on the kick return, finds a way outside. Schlatter. There was room on the left, but he went out of bounds at around the halfway mark, and that's where Stegman will restart things. Now, Stegman has really found his groove in the second half. Couldn't get too much going in the first, but we've seen how he can use his legs. He's got an arm, and he's got accuracy, which is so crucial.
Absolutely. I just want to see how he goes mentally with this if he's back in. And it's almost then, Kate, on the opposite side of that, does he start throwing passes a little more higher and further that are out of reach because he doesn't want to underthrow it?
So Stegman now, sun at his back but into the wind. The wind has died down a little, so that might help out the green and gold. Looking straight downfield and makes an easy reception out to Mitch Bessie, one of his favourite receivers, kept his feet in and goes out of bounds.
Really nice job on the playbook. You've got the bubble screen going out, I think, to Tyson Garnham on the wide side of the field, and you've got Bessie just doing a simple 5 and out. And basically, whichever leverage is better, Stegman will make that decision and throw it. So you can see 83 heads up now on Bessie.
2nd and 4 now for Australia. Handoff this time. Great fake by Stegman, who ran off, and the running back meets the entire team of New Zealanders. I think they're going to move the chains on that, though, because depending on the spot, there was just enough in the push to get things upfield. And they will move the chains.
Here's the first down. That running back got popped big time.
Yes, that's a word for it. That's the role of the running back, though, as you would know, wouldn't you, Coach Hollywood?
Absolutely. I'd be interested to see if Stegman does keep on that next time, because nobody went with him.
Stegman. Now he's going to drop back. Oh, the blitz is coming. They got straight through, but he's going to use his legs to evade. Stegman just throws it away. You can see he's got the escapism as well, which is such a handy skill to have.
Absolutely, absolutely. Was looking again for the smash route with Tyson Garnham, the one he dropped in the first quarter, so that concept's still happening to the wide side of the field. Smart move there. Don't want to force any mistakes by Stegman. He just throws it out of bounds.
Tighter formation this time, Stegman. Got time to pass, does so. Gets there, and the knees are down quickly from Andrew Birigamana. Dark horse out of Adelaide Uni. This man, Biggie Ramana, a mouthful. He was the last man into camp and apparently added late to the team. Really impressed the coaches.
Wow.
So that's someone to watch. Biggie Ramana.
And a nice job you can see too here, Kate, is that they're catching everything inbound, so this clock is running.
Stegman drops back again to pass, stays in the pocket. Oh, it's outside and it's good, but it's a little too long for Tyson Garnham. Almost inches away from a touchdown reception there.
We're either going to have pass interference offense or pass interference defense, because it either look like a pick or looks like it's on the defense. Again, just trying to run one of those rub routes where...
Offside. Defense, number 7. 5 yards. Repeat third.
Again, they're looking to try and do that sort of pick play, the one that got intercepted before. Still going back to that. We'll see how that goes.
So Stegman getting things rolling now. Motion in the backfield. Didn't hand off, kept it instead and got floored. Flattened by the oncoming rush. That one's going to sting for a little while.
Yeah, there'll be a mark. There might be a mark there. A little bruise. That was a great job by Team New Zealand, straight through that, and that's one of those big pancakes, big don't argues, that got flattened. Obviously the play, I know, you're going to be watching that. That's a highlight reel for that player from New Zealand. Play took a little too long to develop.
So it looks like Australia are going to bring on the kicking team and try to seal 3 points on this drive. It's a long kick. Looks like a punt, actually. End over end punt into the sky. Sun in their eyes. New Zealand don't want to touch it. And Australia are first to it as Timochi Tuikaba brings it out. So New Zealand back into offensive position. They start at the 15. Got a whole field to drive. What can they do here? This
will be interesting. Okay, basically from that is, I think you really need to tell your secondary is their first job is pass. Do not even think about the run. There's 7 other people up front, so your 2 corners and your safety or whatever from that, you're just concentrating on the long ball from that and knowing that they're going to have to drive the field.
Due in at quarterback. He's got to move around. Good block. Oh, blindside tackle coming. Just got rid of it in time. But he got flattened after he threw it anyway. Australian number 52, Joel Maddock, one of your favourites to watch.
But he's hurt himself.
Came in so hard and almost too hard. We're going to have a look at this replay before we talk you through the potential injury, but absolute pancake, as you say.
Great rip around the edge there, chasing the quarterback down. Legal hit, and then he's done himself a little mischief, landing on the quarterback. He is up, he's walking.
8:35 left in the game.
Did you say 6:35, 8:35?
8:35, I believe. So we'll adjust our clocks on screen. But it's Australia back in the red zone. If they can put another 6 on the board, it makes it really difficult for New Zealand, and they are taking time off the clock as they go. 2nd and short. In fact, 2nd and long for New Zealand. Harris Walker. In fact, Charlie Dew fakes the throw. He's running back. Pitches it back to Charlie Dew. A bit of razzle-dazzle. Finally a forward pass. And that ends up being called dead. So, I mean, probably the best scenario out of a case where they could have been going backwards. They get back to the line of scrimmage.
I think, Kate, I can honestly say in all my years, I've not seen a handoff to a backward pass to a forward pass, which is all perfectly legal.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen it. And this is what I meant about the razzle-dazzle from Team New Zealand, is they really want to win this game, so let's see what they're going to do about it.
Some of the rugby skills coming in there, potentially the double backward pass. Charlie Dew, got to get things going. 3rd and long for New Zealand. Snap not great. Charlie Dew collects, gets to his man. Tuku Tau can turn downfield, goes against the grain, pummeled to the floor, but not before he gets to the 1st down marker.
Really nice job. Just a nice running back screen set up beautifully. Watch it on the replay here. The linemen are getting out there. There they go. He's calling for it. Really nice job by the quarterback throwing off the back foot and the fadeaway for the screen, and then a great block by the offensive lineman on the trailing defensive lineman there. So getting him down into 1st down territory.
Dew hands off to Davies, this time Ben Davies, and he's met by a sea of green shirts. Nothing there to be had in terms of yardage. New Zealand with a fresh set of downs. Trying to find their way down to the other end.
Empty backfield.
The red zone, an unfamiliar place for most of the game. A slow grind as Charlie Dew takes the snap, goes out wide. Matuga meets the defender, meets 2. 3, can't bring him down. The 4th finally does. He'll be stopped just shy of the 1st down. Depending on the spot, they might even move this forward.
Interesting play call. They moved the running back out to the left, so technically it's 5 wide. They had 3 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. But they went with the old school. Is it Matuga, 45?
Matuga cannot be stopped. Look at him go.
That's what I'm saying. He's literally just throw him the ball at the line of scrimmage. The cornerback is off because he's worried about that long ball. You're basically giving it to another fullback out in space and let the small corner try and tackle the big 42.
They gave Matuga a 2-on-1. He beat it. It took 5 men to bring him down, and he got the 1st down. They do move the sticks. What a player. Handoff. This time is speed enough to burn for Ben Davies. Ben Davies gets downfield, but flag on the play.
Looks like it's holding on the offense. Sorry, illegal holding, because there is a difference between illegal holding and legal holding. 5-yard penalty. That's a shame because Team New Zealand starting to roll, starting to run, and that clock, it's basically the 40-second clock. They can use that. So if you have a look at the clock now with 6:14 running, you think there's probably, if we're dividing that by 30 seconds, 45 seconds at a time, there's only a handful of plays left to get down and make this. New Zealand here, if they can get another first down, they're actually in a really good spot to almost try and score and run the clock out at the same time and not let Team Australia back on the field.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but that's a really great point, Coach. So Charlie Dew might be doing something clever here by taking his time. Ben Davies gets the handoff. Flip back. This is a trick play. It can be interesting. And their second quarterback can launch it. Wow, Petone Lesse threw it downfield. It was almost some Hollywood, the kind of razzle-dazzle that you would have coached back in the day.
Oh, and that's what I was telling you about. This New Zealand team when they started to get tricky. So fake handoff to the left, reverse right, reverse option pass. He was open. The receiver was open. Great job by the defender there from Team Australia getting out there.
Well,
Number 3.
That's the advantage of having the two quarterbacks. Petone Lesse on the field alongside Charlie Dew. They can do whatever they like.
This is the thing where you need to be a little bit careful now, and I don't mean they're getting desperate. I mean they're getting tricky because they want to try and get that first down. So, you try and play something conventional against something unconventional. It could end up in a world of hurt.
Here's Dew. Got time. Throws into the air. It's caught off the hands of Petone Lesse, the second quarterback now at wide receiver. Comes down with the ball, and he can do it all.
Again, there's something I haven't seen. A tip ball straight to another quarterback.
They call it was deliberate, right?
Absolutely. Same again on one. Ready, break. Joel Maddock back in the defensive lineman after that injury back for Team Australia, which he'll be greatly appreciated back there. But that's, again, it's just one of those things of the tip of the ball, the bounce of the ball, etc. New Zealand could be going the other way if something like that happens. 2nd
and 10. New Zealand back to where they started. Dew, high snap. Line collapses in front of him, but he gets the pass away. That's Joshua Dutton, his first reception of the day. Brought down. And that gets them the yardage they need. They made the first down marker.
Really great job there from number 14, the quarterback. If you have a look on the replay, he has time and he has his feet set and his arms set. Has a look to the left. Oh, no, this is the other play before. The tip one. Oh, so close. Sets his feet really nicely, so he can throw it. And that was a great spiral. It's just that he's been humbugged. He's definitely got an arm, but he's been humbugged and rushed by the D line.
Dew, high snap, passes it off this time to Ben Davies. Davies finds the edge. He can tiptoe down that right sideline and continues the run. Davies finally brought down. There are flags all over the field.
This outside edge contain needs a little bit of Mountain Dew or Red Bull energy because the New Zealand's starting to get to the outside there. And is it great pursuit though? But look at that.
Davies read that block so well.
Really nice job. Are Australia getting tired on the outsides, or have they started playing off because they don't want to lose that coverage that they have for the long ball?
Block below the waist. Defense. That'll be half the distance from the end of the run and a first down.
Well, mistakes tell a story, Coach, and I think that block below the waist and the penalty is a story of what you were saying. They are getting tired.
Absolutely. It's definitely one when, or you have, hey, I'm not as big as the guy across from me. I better take him down. Cut the tree, cut the timber down from that. But yeah, it's one of those things of we're just starting to see. I mean, we were just back here 10 yards from the end zone, and it's a drive. It's almost like the Australian drive before.
Incredible drive by Charlie Dew. They're 10 yards from the end zone now. Dew with Ben Davies next to him. Handoff. No, fake. Goes the throw. Immediately brought to ground the receiver, Matuga. But a couple of yards, handy yards. They want to play quickly, quick tempo. Everyone's moving. Want to try and cause confusion for the defense who are already tired. This is clever play. Dew corrals the troops.
Referee's not happy. Throw flag.
12 men on the offense. Dead ball.
And Kate, look, I think that's exactly what you were saying, was they were going so quickly is they didn't count up. And it's one of those things, I don't think they need to go quickly. It's a 40-second clock. You're looking at 4:08 to go. They've got a fresh set of downs. They can run literally a minute 60 or whatever, 40, and bring that, and I mean, give us Team Australia 3 minutes or less to try and go the full field and score.
I mean, the advantage is going slowly, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So they just did themselves a disservice, earned a penalty in the process, and sent backwards. Charlie Jude can take his time. Heinrich Muller, big man, is back on the field.
That play clock right down to 2 seconds.
Jude, pitch pass to Muller. Muller gets tangled up with his own man. There's a bit of friendly fire as he ran into Tuku Tau.
Australia's going nuts on the sideline like they have it. Let's see.
Was there a fumble?
No, it's New Zealand ball. There definitely was a fumble, that was for sure. It actually rolled around the ground and got kicked a couple of times. Wasn't sure who got back on it.
Knee must have been down. Let's take a look at the replay.
Oh, he's lost it.
Yes.
Oh, Team Australia would want that back. They'd want that back.
A real error in the handoff there. Unfortunate one because it went backwards. So the pitch pass still not incomplete as it went backwards. Still going though. Charlie Dew throws this time out to the right side. Matuga. Matuga's got space and he's got the wheels.
Wow.
They can drag him down only if they grab his hair, and that's what they do. He's finally pushed out of bounds, and that stops the clock. So good play by New Zealand.
Tell you what, it's almost, I'm not going to jinx it, but it's almost an MVP performance just from 42 of the receiver out there. Just throw it to him on short and let him get the distance. I couldn't see before. Was that third down before and we're at fourth down now? Because they're so close to the end zone. It's one of those things whether they're going to...
What is on our screen is incorrect. We will get that updated, but the down marker is different to what you're seeing. We are looking into the sun, having difficulties to see it ourselves. What we know is New Zealand are driving, and they are so close to scoring. It's going to be a timeout, I think.
Team New Zealand. Want to have a chat about it. This has been a ripper of a fourth quarter. Ripper of a third quarter, fourth quarter.
Incredible, hasn't it? Really swinging momentum. New Zealand finding momentum just in time to bring this back for a standing finish. They want to talk things over, and that's probably a good decision. In terms of what plays have been working for them, what do you see, Coach?
Well, there's been a couple. As I said, 45 has been a stud on the outside, but also I think it's just been that up front with, what's our big 92 or 94? Muller. He's been a go-to, but it's one of those things I think they can't be their own worst enemy and have penalties or have incomplete passes. And Team New Zealand are a team that literally need to, as you said, 4 yards in a cloud of dust. 4 yards and 4 yards. It doesn't matter if it's 4 yards in a pass or 4 yards in a run. They just can't go backwards because then you end up being in 3rd and 15, and that offense really dictates, says, I must throw long or I must do something here.
So that might have even been the 2-minute warning. New Zealand, 4th down. Trying to get back in this game. Everything rides on this play. Petone Lesse into quarterback. Petone Lesse goes to the air, downfield.
Hook and ladder.
Pass back. Oh my goodness me. Lau Moli had it and lost it. The second pass backwards was probably unnecessary. He could have made his way to the end zone. Instead, dropped it.
Recovered by Australia. Touchback.
Wow. So literally, what I thought we had there was a deliberate hook and ladder. So the receiver, here we go. We're going to see this. There it is. Yes, it's a definite hook and ladder. He's in for the score. And he couldn't hold on for it.
Instead, it's a touchback for Australia. Oh, my goodness.
Actually, sorry, Kate, to interrupt. This is really exciting. If I was New Zealand, I'd get somebody to have a look at that, because did the receiver actually control the ball before he flicked it back? Because I don't think he took enough steps. Here we go. This is a great... he's taken 2, and they sort of say you have to do a football move, which I don't know what is. But that could almost be classed as an incomplete pass. But so close. It was a hook and ladder. It was almost there.
Unfortunately, we don't have video replay referees on today's game. Oh, that was so exciting. Coach Hollywood, one for the highlight reel. Instead, it ends up with a touchback, and Australia, under 2 minutes to go, can run this back. Stegman just got to hold on. Gives it away this time. Running back muscles his way downfield for a 5-yard gain. They continue, the clock's still running. Finally brought to ground.
Spot on, Kate, because that's the last thing. If the Team New Zealand just want to get him on the ground straight away. It's Team Australia's objective to stay up and just keep walking and running, as you said, that clock coming off there. So, looking at a minute and under and another 40 seconds back on the clock, it's literally, it's 2 more plays, and if they got close to a first down, second down, and about 3, first down, it's all over.
We don't have a record of how many timeouts are left, but it's close, that's for sure. Stegman, got to keep the clock running. You'd think he'll use every moment of his time before the snap. Throw out to the right side. It's completed, and you're going to stay inside and take the tackle inside as well. That's a clever move by Timochi Tuikaba for Australia. Kept his feet in, and that keeps the clock running.
Absolutely, and that's what the coach is telling us. Segman is telling us. If you're catching it, stay in bounds. It'll just run. Make sure you make the catch, complete a catch. Clock's running. We can just get first down. But yeah, you're right, Kate. I don't think they'd start taking a knee yet to win the game, because I can't remember how many timeouts that New Zealand still would have left. Play clock down to 7. Yep, using the full time.
Stegman, handoff, run game is working out for them so far, and it does continue the clock running. So this time, I think New Zealand want to use a timeout.
There we go. Full time.
And it is full time, so the clock continue to run, no timeout, and Australia lift their helmets and their arms. They celebrate because they're going home with the trophy, the 2025 Australian champions of this Festival of Football. What a game between New Zealand and Australia, 2 trans-Tasman rivals that have met in so many codes, storied rivalry across the generations in American football. Coach, what have you found?
I've found that New Zealand are just as much fun as they used to be. And, they can only get better from here with the league starting back up again. And then, being here in an international. And if this game continues again next year and the year after that, I mean, they know that they're going to come here. They know what type of standard they're going to play to, and they can get better as a country for that. And also, we can just enjoy good old, full contact, full kit American football here on the Gold Coast.
Incredible stuff. New Zealand brought it all the way to the death, almost, save for one error. Could have been the winners today, but it is the green and gold that take home the clean sweep from this Festival of Football. Under 16s, under 18s, and opens all go to Australia's trophy cabinet until next year. It's Kate Allman, the voice of football in Australia, signing off here with Coach Hollywood. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage. We'll leave you with pictures from the ground. We have a ceremony to present the shield coming up, and it's been an absolute pleasure being part of it. Until next year, as I say, American Football Australia, thanks you for joining us, and I thank you for tuning in. See you soon.
You got a honeydew list?
Please don't be like that.
Hey, I know my wife would be exactly the same. Like, oh, that's different.
Oh, you can go all day football. You can't come back to
It was 6:15.
I can see her at the airport. Fine. Fine. Well,
It's cold. I can't make it.
the sun's still up. The sun's still up and the rain still works. Their dishes are the same. Get a real vacation. Feel like
All that time, watching those NFL games at 2 in the morning. What? You can do that engine off the bike, you can go down here.
I'll be like,
That's the case, tell her,
I'm
get
very
down
hard of
there.
hearing right now.
Down there.
Rob is unavailable.
Rob got it in his head.
Fine, fine.
I did my due.
I brought it up to you. I did Good job.
Was a black.
All this up. We'll go A-list and then just message me when you've got it all done. And
There
I'll
is
make
a
it.
I don't know why they're saying that. What the kids are doing. Central. Hey, Drew. Drew. nasty Nate.
New Zealand team over here for presentation.
Jared Stegman, you need to stay here and all of your team do because we are having a presentation. Australia, if you don't mind, stay exactly where you are. New Zealand, get over here. We've got to present a shield. Around, please, left.
Side is yours.
weekend is anything to go by. I think we're going to enjoy it. Who's with me? Alright, we'll get into it a little more. So, we have a few thank yous to make. First of all, to our sponsors, Amy Patterson College for providing the venue, which has been glorious. The City of the Gold Coast for hosting us up here and putting on the incredible weather. I'm sure a few people are going home with sunburn, including me. And of course, our security and our security group to Gallagher's and also Sportslink Travel for supporting American Football Australia. To our coaches and officials and all of the volunteers that make this happen, our referees, everyone who was part of today, thank you. You are the wheels that keep everything going. And let's give it a big round of applause for all of those special people. Now to New Zealand, who don't go home with a trophy today, thank you for showing up and bringing your absolute best, and particularly in that game, bringing it right down to the final minutes. I almost thought you had us there. Unfortunate, but thank you. Alright, so we have 2 awards to give out today. We're going to present the shield. Later on, we have a dinner with all of the official awards from the tournament. But today, we have an MVP award and the shield winner. Now, the MVP was chosen unanimously, and it is all played from the New Zealand side today, so not the winning side. But the MVP for the 2025 Australia vs New Zealand American Football Test Series on the Opens is number 42, Daisy Matuga. Daisy, you're incredible for starters. Thank you so much for coming over from New Zealand. Do you have anything to say to thank the fans that came out today? Thank you so much, Daisy. I wasn't sure what to expect, but appreciate you. Well done for today. Now, we have to present the shield. Pam, come on up here. Pam is one of our outstanding members of American Football Australia and the oil that keeps all the cogs turning. So, it was an incredible game. It was swings and roundabouts. New Zealand really took it to house at the end, but it was Australia in the green and gold that had the composure. They are going home with 3 shields this weekend. So a massive round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 champions of Australia. Can we get the captain to come on up and receive the shield? Jared Stedman, quarterback, I think you can say a few words on behalf of the team. Let's go. Thanks so much, Jared. You're not retiring yet, are you? No. We'll keep that for next time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the proceedings today. Again, thank you so much for coming out. We so appreciate you. It has brought the vibe. A round of applause for everyone on the sideline today who braved the heat and the sun.